So, I'm going to talk about it. So, we're going to talk about it. So, I'm I'm thinking to myself, I was enlightened, like it was trying to come through. It's like somebody was screaming at me, trying to tell me something, you know. And then it just came through, and I'm going to say this, like I know a lot of people think that I'm gay. I know a lot of people think that I am gay. It's like this is so fucking crazy. Like I have to deal with so many people's like discriminations, like racism, politics. And the thing is that I'm not racist. I come from a biracial family. Then on top of that, it's just like I'm not Democrat or Republican. I've never been into politics, never been interested. You know, I see what the fuck be going on. But I mean, then when it come to me being gay, it's just like motherfuckers be thinking I'm gay, and you know they don't they discriminate against homosexuals. Well, by golly, this shit is crazy because it's like I thought the only thing I had to deal with was people's racism. And that's why I'm just like don't bring that shit over here because I'm healed from that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like other motherfuckers, all the cultures need to get on board because you're not honoring, helping, healing your ancestors or showing gratitude for what they had to go through in order for you to be here today. You want to stay in the same pain and you want to relive what they've been through and they upset because it's like, motherfucker, we done got you, we done paved the way, we done got you out. So now you need to give back and start working on healing us, start working on, us as a people. Like this is what I know. So, I don't really deal with the racist shit. And I be telling people don't bring that racist shit. It's like I am a target for people's discriminations. It's like all of their toxicity. They want to, all, it's like their secrets. It's like, I guess it's their demons. And it's just like the things that they're hiding, you know, the true thoughts and all of that stuff. It's like all of that shit is revealed to me about people. Like it shows through how people think of me, and therefore what people think of you is how they treat you. You can't control what people think, obviously, because even when they don't have the truth, they will still act and feel based off of what they think. And this is why I say the world is an insane asylum. It absolutely is. And then it's just like when it comes to somebody who has good mental health, it's just like this person is the target, and through this person you get to see that, hey, there may be some loose screws up there. There may be some issues that maybe you need to push past. And the thing is that it's a struggle. It's always a struggle, which means that you want to break through, but you just don't know how to. And because you don't know how to, your demons feel incompetent. And so when they feel incompetent, they feel embarrassed because the darker aspect, the demons consider themselves to be more powerful. So they really have the issue with you neglecting them. But because I can see them, they get their attention from me. They want to come over here and start fucking with me. uh Baby, I'm gonna hold up that mirror. I'm gonna hold up that mirror because you tripping, you know? Now, the thing is that I'm not down low. It's crazy though because I've ran into a lot of down low. Like I grew up, my mom had a lot of homosexual friends. You know, Throughout life, I've had homosexual friends. So, I mean, I know down low. I've dealt with a couple of guys that were down low, didn't know that they was down low. I observe everything, so I'm paying attention. So, and I'm just like, damn, well, do I give signs of a down low woman or something? Maybe I do. Yes, I believe I've said it before that I have explored women before. And I mean, just because I can go without dick does not mean I'm gay. Somebody, I'm going to tell you, I had to deal with this girl years ago. I don't know if I told this story or not, but her and I kind of had like the same, it's kind of like she saw me as being on the same time, a past timeline of hers. So it's like she was trying to guide me into my gayness. And I wasn't as experienced. So when she was projecting and speaking to me, I'm questioning myself. I'm just like, am I gay? Am I really gay? You know what I'm saying? But she was a twin flame too. So sometimes, this shit happens. But, I love beautiful things. But I like men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not down low. I'm just androgynous. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know or don't understand androgynous. Just like polymath. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in a Rubik's Cube. You have to be, I think, on a certain level of spiritual intelligence or intelligence period in order to understand. But to me, it's kind of like, well, why they just don't ask questions? Why they just be assuming they hear me talk and they just assume shit? And it's just like, but you don't have discernment. So, you're not seeing the truth of what I'm saying. I'm not fucking gay. I'm not fucking gay. I'm androgynous. So, I mean, I was just like, wow. So, was somebody trying to force me into my gay? Was somebody trying to prove that I'm miserable in my life because I'm really gay and I'm stuck here living this life playing a role? Is that what somebody's trying to project? Is that what somebody else is going through? I've been picking up on this down low. I think it's a woman because I've been picking up on a down low woman for a long time. And she just keep popping in and out. And I'm just like, girl, what's up? What is going on? So with me being androgynous, yes, it leaves me open to being attracted to people's soul and their spirit. It doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. Unfortunately, I haven't met any great women to where, you know, I'm just like, wow. But I have met some women. Yes. When I was in high school and middle school, I used to have my little girl crushes. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, stop fucking with me. Cause I love to ride a good stick, honey. Don't, like, I'm never gonna jump off the pogo stick, baby. And out of respect for women and myself, I don't just go around playing with women either. And like I said, I haven't met a woman that I'm just like, wow, she's amazing, she's incredible. Every time I do think that about a woman, she always kind of shows me like I have the wrong idea about her. I have a problem too, to where people want to see the worst in me, but they're really seeing the worst in themselves. I always see the light in people, which is why, I be blinded in certain situations. That's a lot of the reason why too I need my spirit guides, because my sight is pure. I see the light in motherfuckers. I don't care how small it is or how bright it is. I can see it. And you want to know that is God's love. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like I can see how much God loves a person, regardless of what other people think of them or how they may carry themselves on the outside or what they may show other people. When I see God's love in people, I mean, I'm vicariously tapping into that. So then I become blinded. And then the lights go out, and now I'm standing in the goddamn dark, surrounded by a whole bunch of these shadows and demons. Their enemies, their opposition. I'm just like, okay. I have a very abstract, poetic mind, so it's very deep. So I don't think like the typical average person, but at the same time, I know, I know where I'm at. And when I meet people, I know who I can really open up and talk to, and I know who I kind of have to keep it on the surface level. I don't connect with everybody the same because everybody, you know, is not on the same vibration. I'm a rainbow. I'm a rainbow child, and it's like I have to deal with cliques of colors. And because I hold every color, every clique wants me to come through. But the thing is that they want me to stay there. They want me to take on their beliefs. They want me to think like them. They want me to care about the shit that they care about. But my thing is that as a rainbow, if I go to the orange group, yes, on the level of orange is where we connect. But when it comes to the other colors, orange is not willing to accept all of the other colors. I cannot be confined to one color if I am multiple. So, I move around. Every clique, every conscious group has a different color. And, that's just the way it is. It's like discrimination. Because you're just one color, you're not a rainbow. So at the end of the day, I have accepted that in moving through all of these cliques of colors, that I will never belong to any one of them specifically. And they will not accept me because of all of the other colors that I bring into the situation. So what do I do from there? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. So that is why I dance to the beat of my own drum. I'm just rainbowing it out here. And look, the rainbow is represented by the LGBTQA plus community, right? So I understand why motherfuckers perceive, and especially men, because I feel like this this woman, she's telling other people this about me. It's just like, yeah, I can see why men would agree with that, but then again, I mean, you just ain't never met a woman like me. That's all that it is. Like I've said before in a previous video, it just seems like, women are not taught to get to know who they are. They're taught to be a specific way. I guess this is the way of the masses. So therefore, when it comes to a man perceiving and judging a woman, there are certain expectations and standards that, men have collectively when it comes to a woman. Like I'm not a rebellious feminist that absolutely hates men. You know what I'm saying? I love men. I'm going to tell you this, though. I don't think I ever want to live with another man again, though. I used to want to get married. I don't want to get married. I used to want to have more children or maybe another child. I don't want to have another child. I want to keep men at a distance because men are not the protectors. You know what I'm saying? And that is no shade. That is the truth. Men are the protectors of the physical, but women are the protectors of the spiritual, which means that we can protect things. We can stop things from happening before it even happens, or we can take care of certain things so that it doesn't manifest physically. But I mean, that's what I think. I could be totally wrong about that, but I mean, that's what I think. From my observation with certain things, and it seems like there's more responsibility and expectation on women, but to whom much is given, much is required. I think that, women are stronger than men, like I said before, emotionally. So that has a lot to do with character. Men are stronger physically. And that's not even true because, I've seen some women fuck some men up, like for real. He's really trying his hardest. He's not holding back because she's a woman. Like he's really trying to get at her. And, I done seen him ball her. I done seen her ball his ass up, so can't even really say that. But even with the spiritual, we can't say it's just about women too, because there are some very spirited men who are tapped into their divine feminine and they are very healthy. They are very advanced spiritually too. But I'm just saying for the majority, because I feel like right now we're talking to the masses. So, we got to kind of water things down, make it a little practical so motherfuckers can understand, I think that's very necessary. Just kind of keep it as logical as we can. Seems like logic helps people to think about things. We have a lot of assumptions and predictions, and like I said, I understand why you would think that. But I mean, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth now, So, and my thing is, I can't understand if a man is not interested in me anyway, why does he give a fuck if I'm down low or not? So to whoever that woman is who's saying shit about me, it's kind of like, you know, you bring out the idiots in people. So you bring out the idiots in people. Like I said, you know, you deal with idiots, you argue with idiots, you might as well consider yourself one. But you could change it. You could choose not to be an idiot. Just be honest and just relax. Stop needing to feel like you know who somebody is. I am who I am. And 9 times out of 10, I have already connected with somebody in the spirit before they've come to me. But even when they come to me in the physical, you know, I deal with them like a human. I listen. You know, I don't just go off saying, oh, this, and that. And my thing is, I can do that. But I don't. And why is that? That is what you call humility. So, yes, you know, I am who I am, but when I have to connect with individuals in a worldly sense, you know, stop trying to play me like I'm not grounded or anchored. You know, stop trying to paint me out like I'm some Luffy Goofy. You know, that must be what this woman. I don't know. It seems like my masculine it's like the masculinity in me just attracts the most goofiest bitches, the most toxic bitches. It's just like, and they so fragile, but they want to just seem so hard. And then, you know, their egos are just so fragile too. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm not a man, and I'm not a man that you want to deal with. But because I'm a woman, you know, bitches get triggered because I show a lot of stability, like, and they just be looking dumb as hell, you know, just loud, going off at the mouth, just got a lot of very cool things to say. But it's just like, your words are never going to hurt me. Like, if you're trying to hurt me, immediately your value in my eyes just goes down. So now it's like you're worthless. You don't mean anything to me. But because I am who I am, I can see that there's something inside of you that you need to be dealing with. You know? I can't believe, like I feel like motherfuckers was trying to put pressure on me to get me to confess that I'm down low and I'm miserable about my life because I have to pretend to be straight with a guys. You know, like I totally get it. I totally get how it looks on the outside, but I mean, I was forced to come out. This situation, my life has forced me to come out as a person. Not just a strong person, but a individual. With the challenges, it has built the strong individual. I mean, I don't know. It's been pretty interesting. In a lot of my relationships in the past, I always have to be limited to a role of being a woman. You know, I gotta be soft. I can't be, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm a rough girl. I always grew up a rough girl. So when I started getting in relationships with men and, you know, they just like, man, you kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, if you get in trouble, I think two heads are better than one. If somebody trying to fuck with you, I think two people jumping on their ass instead of one is better. It's not that you can't handle it by yourself, but why the fuck do I gotta sit there and just watch? I mean, that's how I used to think when I was younger. You know, it's like, well, I'm thinking that's like the ride or die mentality. You jump, I jump. You go, I go. You like it, I love it. But a man will use that against you too. I'm trying to tell you, boy, that masculinity will use every and anything against you that they can. That's, you know, that's very that's like devilish energy. You know, the devil, the world is the devil's playground. So I mean, well, now you heard it from me. Strictly dickly will always be. Like, I don't know, somebody, it's just like this person, this woman, she likes the softness. Like, she doesn't like how abusive men can be. Of course not. But that's why you got to learn how to toughen up. And you just got to, sometimes you got to learn how to take abuse. Because it's the inevitable. We're being abused on so many levels. Of course, you don't settle for nobody abusing you physically. No, you should never stay where you're being physically abused. But abuse is so common and it's normalized. There's no way to get rid of it. It will never stop. So, you can't be crying, trying to run to what's off. Because I feel like she only want a woman because she wants something soft. Like, she's scared of men. She got issues with her dad, too. And she's scared of men. You know. But my thing is, she full of shit, though. Because she's a bit of a hellraiser, too. So, that's what I'm saying. Her ego fragile. She's sitting up there trying to play the victim. And it's kind of like she's really trying to convince herself of the victim mentality to where it's kind of like all men are this way. I feel like she's lied about being abused, but if she haven't lied about being physically abused in the past, she doesn't understand she doesn't understand what she's doing to the point to where men really want to hurt her. I think she got some type of parasite. I think she has a parasite of provoke. You know what I'm saying? And she don't know that she has it. But her spirit is loud, like it be provoking these men. So it's not her fault that she's being abused. It's her fault that she doesn't know that she has that parasite. So even if she has been abused, it doesn't make it right just because she has that parasite. But because she has the parasite, she's being abused because she doesn't know. So that could be like a generational curse, you know. But at the same time, that could just be her lowest vibration, that she always be trying to provoke people. She could know that about herself, and she tried to play it off. She tried to be innocent. Motherfuckers get tired of her trying to play mind games with them. There's always something about her that reveals that she's playing games, and that's that parasite. So the parasite hides behind her with this innocence and with this childlike naiveness. But then it's kind of like that parasite comes from behind her head and starts smiling at these men. And that's what these men see, and they attack her. So, hey, well, that has a lot to do with that extraterrestrial consciousness. It's like the insects. Insects, they multiply like flies. Get a lot of flies, mosquitoes, lots of mosquitoes in one area, one place. You got the bees, but the bees are the ancestors. Butterflies are the spirit guides. Birds are too. Well, birds too. Birds are spirit guides to all animals, plants, and humans. So it's like that. It's like an insect that's stuck to her. So, well, I mean, that type of consciousness is on the rise. You know. So I mean, I told y'all, man. I told motherfuckers, I'm just like, it's about to start looking like funkadelic out here. That's spiritually and physically. It's gonna start looking like a big ass carnival. Whatever. We will see, dears. We will see. But the truth is out. No, I'm not down low. I would, if I was gay, I would be proud that I was gay. I would not be living my life hiding behind a man. Like, no. No. you know. So, till next time, ciao.